This is Anne from the Burkle Farm. Today we're moving the cattle into the corral when they do not want to. So we needed to move our flerd into the corral to separate out any rams that were still intact. This is a very good thing to do because it would be full to catastrophic if we still had an intact ram. And it turns out that we did. Here he is. This would have been pretty bad because we would have had some January lambs, and in Minnesota, that is not a good thing. So first thing we did is we tied up our existing rams so that when the ewes came by, they would not get after them. And that's our, quote, guardian dog, not exactly a guardian dog. But then after that, we set up a one wire, and there's Peter setting up that one wire to make a lane so that we could take them from their paddock all the way into the corral. And the plan was I would lead the sheep and cattle, and Peter would bring them from the back. Now, these moves never go according to plan. There's Peter getting them ready to go, opening up the gate. They're always ready to come because they know they're going to get some good food if they follow with the program. But this did not go according to plan. As we were moving the flerd, the cattle, we have 3, just a few because we like to eat beef. There's number 14, we call her. She's the one who provides the calf. And then that guy, that third one who's outside of the lane, is our steer. And they all follow each other. And now ever since she had that calf just has little regard for the one wire. She will take the shock because she just does not want to follow everybody. So once she takes the shock and leaves the lane, that makes number 14, her mama, follow along, and then that gets the steer to follow along. So here you can see Peter is moving them. He uses their, I think you call it their flight zone. Each animal has its own distance that you can get up to it before it'll flee in the other direction. So he's kind of using that. There he's resetting up that one wire. Maybe that calf took it down a little bit when jumping over it. So, and you can also see he's got a stick in his hand. I think it's a driveway marker. It just helps to get that little extra visual so that he can use their flight zone to get them to move. And kind of the idea is you move so that they will go the opposite of that direction. And finally, they are to the corral. They never like to go into the corral because look at it. There's nothing good to eat in there. There's just a bunch of mud. So unless we put hay in there, it's not a pleasant place to go for them. So finally, we did get those cattle to get into the corral. And I was the one who was filming this because I was actually holding up the cattle panel, and the sheep are all, behind me. We kind of have them all holed up in there. And so finally we've got them all in the corral so we can go through each sheep and check for anybody who's intact. We're really glad that we did this because that picture that I showed you before, he would have probably been able to be a successful breeder probably in a month. And he would have definitely went to town on all the ewes, and we would have been stuck with lambs in January. Never a good thing in Minnesota, especially if you're like us and you do not have any barns or place for them to go. Well, that is about it for today.